Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the athletic fields here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call as we bring you our first edition of Milford Varsity Girls Soccer of the season, and this afternoon, the Scarlet Hawks welcome in one of their Davenport Division rivals in the Canton Bulldogs. Milford comes into this matchup currently in third place in the Kelly Rex Division standings. They picked up their first win of the season in their last match. They are 1-3-1 overall on the season. Canton comes in, meanwhile, in first place in the Davenport. They are undefeated so far on this young 2022 fall season. They are 4-0-1. Milford trying to battle through some injuries through the early part of this season. Their depth already has been tested. A lot of underclassmen on this varsity roster this year for Milford. But again, coming off of a very good performance earlier this week, picking up their first victory of the season. That came against North Attleboro just 2 days ago, a 3-2 victory on the road. Now trying to pick up their first home win of the season. Scarlet Hawks once again under the direction of head coach Lou Colabello, along with assistant coaches Casey Abriano and Carolyn Chaplin. And for the Canton Bulldogs, they are under the direction of their head coach Idris Sinyonjo. Milford with underclassmen contributing at the varsity level, including freshman Chloe Murdoch, who starts in net for the Scarlet Hawks this afternoon. 7 freshmen and 7 sophomores making it onto this varsity roster this season. So a young Scarlet Hawks team looking to build up experience through these early games of the year. Milford looking to attack from right to left across your screens here in first half action, as we finish up 3 games in 3 days here on Milford TV. Once again, bringing you this coverage live streaming on our YouTube page. We want to give a quick shout out to all of our viewers tuned in via our YouTube live stream this afternoon. A good crowd already forming over on YouTube to check out this coverage, so happy to have you with us. It's also our second day in a row of having a chance to cover Canton athletics here on Milford TV as well. I know we had a number of the Canton fans tuned into our live stream for girls volleyball last night, and back again for girls soccer action this afternoon. So Milford fans, Canton fans, all welcome. Happy to have you aboard, and looking forward to a good matchup here this afternoon. And really nice weather for this game here today. It's been a dreary week so far with a lot of rain and a lot of cloud cover for these fall teams, but a nice day here this afternoon with bright sunshine. Canton controlling play here over these early minutes, as that ball ends up going out of play. Another goal kick for the Scarlet Hawks. Milford battling to a tie in their first game of the season, which came back on September 7th against Norton in a non-conference game, a 2-2 tie, and then suffered 3 straight losses to Foxborough, Attleboro, and Sharon before picking up that victory against North Attleboro earlier this week. Milford just trying to get this ball out of trouble down deep in that near corner. And a whistle as Canton player lost footing. Canton quickly regroups, and now the ball making its way back towards Danny Atherton, who flicked this ball up across midfield. And now played forward before it's cleared back by Canton defenseman Ava Gilmore. Now Milford trying to close in once again. Alexa Landry along the far side. Now Mickelson giving way to Danny Atherton, trying to sneak that ball through traffic. Had a player streaking in towards net. The ball still up for grabs, and Canton now able to clear out towards the corner. Atherton just slipping that ball in deep. Good vision there as Ava Baglione was able to quickly pounce, had a good look towards net, but that ball blocked away, and now out of play along the near sideline. So Milford with their first good look on offense of the day. Both of these teams with freshmen in net this afternoon, as the Bulldogs have freshman Marissa Steffier in net. And Canton now with a good ball sent deep. Milford's defense getting back. The shot on goal, but the save is made by Chloe Murdoch. So Milford with a chance developing quickly. Canton with a nice stretch pass up the field, creating a potential opportunity, but again, a good stop by the keeper. Now Canton right back in on the attack. The defense scrambling for the Scarlet Hawks, able to guide this ball back to the corner, and then pushed out of play by Evelise Pierce. A little over 5 minutes into this first half action, as this ball again comes in on net. The initial stop by Murdoch, but then the second chance effort puts it through, and Canton is able to strike first here. They are able to grab the 1-0 lead. Murdoch made the stop, allowed the rebound. And that was exactly what Canton needed in order to strike first. So it was number 22, Lauren Shatkin with the goal, a junior. And again, streaking in, and this one is going to get past Murdoch again. And so a quick strike right back up the field, and Canton instantly able to double the lead. Still tallying the first goal, and Canton able to move the ball with good pace back up the field. And this time it was number 16, Emma Cahill, all alone with the goal. And a timeout here taken with 32 minutes and 39 seconds to go. So those goals less than a minute apart. Milford quickly in a 2-0 hole. So this had the makings of an uphill battle for the Scarlet Hawks this afternoon. Canton coming in really firing on all cylinders through the early parts of the season, undefeated on the year. And taking a look at the stats for the Bulldogs, coming into the matchup today, they had scored 13 goals. That was second highest in all of the Hockomock League, while allowing just 4 goals. So a good differential there for the Bulldogs. And Milford, again, trying to get a little bit healthier, dealing with a lot of key injuries, including Brianna Guerrero, Kaylin Pasico, Olivia Baglione, Paige Keldon, and Kay Pellegrini, all missing due to injury right now on the season. So Milford, again, looking to those younger players on the roster to step up. So plenty of time left to change the momentum in this game, but right now it is firmly on the Canton Bulldogs side, taking an early 2-0 lead. But again, still 32 minutes and 39 seconds remain in this first half. So we set up for another face-off out of the timeout. This ball sent along the far sideline, just over the reach of Ava Baglione. Danny Atherton racing in there, but that ball out of her reach. Now up ahead past midfield. Brooke Ferreira now in her senior season, getting involved in the action. And now a hard push upfield. Danny Atherton turning on the Jets, a foot race with the keeper, and it is Staffier that's able to get there first for the Bulldogs. That ball taken away by Captain Serena Borges. Again dumped down into the corner where Baglione gives chase. All the way to the corner, and that ball spills out of play. Canton protecting that ball as it went out, so it'll go as a goal kick for the Bulldogs. Still not quite 10 minutes into this matchup. Milford able to keep this ball in. Good pass finds Danny Atherton. Canton defense able to break it up. Now a hard shove there given to Serena Borges. This ball dumped again along towards Atherton. Both Atherton and Baglione working down the far sideline as this ball will again make its way out of play. The Canton Bulldogs were last in action back on September 19th. So on Monday of this week, taking on the Stoughton Black Knights, they earned a 2-1 win. The only game that Canton has played that did not result in a victory was on the 17th when they took on non-conference Norwell and dueled to a 1-1 draw. Canton with a pair of shutout victories on the season against North Attleboro and also Taunton. As Milford hopes to make a comeback bid in this game. So far, the Bulldogs have not allowed more than 2 goals in a game this season, but still just in the early stretch of the year. This ball in deep. An opportunity forming here for Emily McCabe as that ball squirts wide of the Milford net. McCabe battling in there against the Milford defense. Emily McCabe, Christina Keefe, and Han Hong, the 3 captains for this Bulldogs squad in 2022. Corner kick chance here for Canton. As we're now just past the opening 10 minutes of this varsity girls soccer match. Crowd continuing to form to take in this game live and in person here this afternoon. As we get deeper into September, it's never a guarantee how much longer you're going to get quality weather like this, so a good time to come out and check out a game in person. Atherton with the header to send this ball further down the near sideline, now trying to win it back in a one-on-one battle with Ava Gilmore of Canton. The ball ends up out of play. And the Bulldogs will have possession. Atherton coming in hard there to deflect that pass. Now up over the center line. Dangerous territory there, but Taylor Seri, the freshman, able to make the play. Talia Seri, my apologies. Still getting in up to game speed here with our first girls soccer action of the season. We had hoped to catch the girls in action against Attleboro earlier this season, but unfortunately the weather a little bit too dicey with storms in the area to bring out the equipment, but weather not an issue for this one this afternoon. Serena Borges Sending this one over into the direction of Brooke Ferreira. Ended up losing her footing, and this allows Canton to make the steal. Carry ahead, and another lopsided chance here in front of Murdoch, and no chance there. A nifty move for Emily McCabe as she strikes for the third Bulldogs goal of this half. Just great acceleration, sliced through a couple of Milford defenders, and she was all alone for the score. So the deficit growing a bit larger now for the Scarlet Hawks, with still 26 minutes to go now in the half. Canton last year finished third in the Davenport Division standings with an overall record of 6-7-5. Finishing under 500, but showing a lot of improvement so far out of the gates this season. All four classes represented on this varsity roster for Canton. Good solid senior leadership. Close at the top of the standings of the Davenport early on in the year, with Canton, Oliver Ames, and Sharon separated by just 2 points. Dipping under the 25-minute mark as McCabe pushes the ball forward, and another chance at an open look at the net, and this time popped over the crossbar. Milford needing to find a way to keep Canton in front of their defense. That was Emma Cahill, who already has a goal in this half. Substitution here for the Scarlet Hawks as Caitlin Kernan, another of the Scarlet Hawks freshmen, comes on here with 24-14 on the first half clock. This ball out of play, picked up by athletic director Peter Boucher. The quick toss in for the Bulldogs as they push this back towards the middle of the field. And a last-ditch effort there for the defense. Nice for Pierce to close in there and knock that ball away. A corner kick to be taken here by the captain, Emily McCabe, from the near side. And now right in front of the goal mouth, that ball with a kick save by Chloe Murdoch. Nicely done there through heavy traffic. Now Erin Mickelson, and she pushes this ball back towards the center circle, and Canton relentless right back on the attack, and Milford able to push this ball over towards the near side, but taken right back over. Here's Cahill again with another shot. A save by Murdoch. A little bit of a juggle, but she's able to hold on. Continues to get tested with heavy fire here for the Bulldogs, but a couple of nice saves now from Murdoch. More substitutions now for both sides before we get a Canton toss in over on the far side of the field. opportunity for the Bulldogs, again broken up by Evelise Pierce. Long toss down the far sideline for the Scarlet Hawks. Now pushed across over the middle and dumped back in deep by Canton. And now a one-handed stop made by Murdoch, and then Milford gets the clear off another quick developing chance. And right now that duo of McCabe and Cahill really proving to be difficult for Milford to contain. Milford trying to spring Atherton loose down the far sideline. But a whistle here brings this ball back, approaching the 20-minute mark in this first half. Three goals within the first 16 minutes of this match to give Canton solid control. Now Atherton fighting for the ball along the far sidelines yet again. Ava Baglione also battling in there as well. Ava just recently scored her first varsity goal. As Atherton now carries down into the corner. Milford trying to bring the energy up on the sidelines. This ball over the reach of the keeper, and then it spins across the goal mouth and out of play. Fortunately, no one there to direct that ball in. Milford still trying to find a way to get on the scoreboard with now just under 19 minutes to go in the half. Here's Cahill again pushing this ball up ahead towards McCabe. And Milford directs it back to their own keeper. That whistle going against the Bulldogs, so that brings an end to another potential strike there for the Bulldogs. Trying to peel away from the Milford defense. Ferreira can't slow that ball down, now tries to jump back into the play. Kiernan able to get there, now pushed forward, and offsides is the call. Ferreira to send this ball back upfield. Meanwhile, quick injury timeout as the training staff came in to check on Serena Borges, who now is able to head to the sidelines without any assistance. Serena can get back into this game action. Milford already thin at the moment with a lot of injuries. Ball down the near sideline and out of play as we head towards 17 minutes to go in the half. Again, a 3-0 lead for the Bulldogs. Nicholson getting a breather on the sidelines. Ferreira now along that near corner. Milford trying to center this ball up. Driven back out towards the near sideline and out of play. Milford will have a chance to toss it back in. Kernan with another toss in. Meanwhile, Serena Borges right back out onto the field. Atherton now in a one-on-one battle. It stays Milford ball. Atherton will toss it in herself. And now a good steal here for Canton and plenty of open space. Michaela Costello dumping that ball ahead. And now Costello slipping without any contact and able to now get back to her feet. Atherton with a good pass. Tracked down in the corner by Kaylee Whitney. Whitney into traffic and now taken back out by Canton. This ball fed ahead for Canton, but offsides. Borges now winning that ball over the middle. And push back now picked up by number 12, Alyssa Wong, a freshman for the Bulldogs. Contested along the far sideline by Esther Light. And now into the box and a long run out for Marissa Staffier as she once again is able to beat Atherton by a few paces. Ferreira battling. Pushes that ball out of play right towards the Canton coaching staff. This ball right in the direction of Ava Baglione. Baglione able to get in on that block. Atherton as well, but it deflects right to the keeper. Getting into the later stages of this half now, the scoring has slowed down after that early onslaught by the Bulldogs. But worth noting that right now Canton playing with both Emma Cahill and Emily McCabe on the sideline. Milford trying to get back quickly. Michaela Costello close to a breakaway chance there, but Milford able to slow down the pace just enough. Now this ball in close, knocked down by Chloe Murdoch. Milford able to clear it over towards the far sideline. It has not been an easy start to this game for Chloe Murdoch, but she's been able to settle things down. She's had to make some high degree of difficulty saves. Substitution for the Scarlet Hawks as we approach 11.5 minutes remaining in this first half. This ball quickly stolen. Carried in by Kiara McKinney. Eventually rolling out of play. Erin Mickelson back onto the field, now giving Ava Baglione rest. Atherton now, and Borges across the middle. Ferreira now pushing the pace. Kaylee Whitney breaking things up, keeping Milford on their attacking side of the field, but that ball's going to take a slow roll out of play right into the Canton bench. Knocked out again by Canton, as we're now less than 10 minutes to go in the first half. Still 3-0 in favor of the visiting Canton Bulldogs. After surveying her options, Atherton tosses that ball in towards Serena Borges. Now we'll send one in that sneaks behind the Canton goal. And that will allow the Bulldogs to send more fresh personnel onto the field. Both of these teams keeping their benches active in this game as it's gone along. Fourth across the center line we go now. Restarted by the Canton defense as this ball rolls loose all the way down towards the corner. Not sure anyone's going to get there in time. It rolls out. Kiara McKinney giving chase for the Bulldogs. Canton getting the toss in here. McKinney out of the corner. Taking it inside the box. Now the Milford defense closing in. And Borges is going to push this ahead to Atherton. Atherton with a little space here. Can she get herself free for a shot? Instead tries to center it up, and The save made by Marissa Steffier. Atherton again able to push this ball ahead. Kaylee Whitney there. And Whitney trying to center up for Erin Mickelson. Gorgeous with some physicality there, drawing the whistle as we dip under 7 minutes to go. Canton pushing the pace here. Talia Seri having to deliver that ball out of play to keep it out of danger. Captain Christina Keefe to toss this ball back in for Canton. This will take us under 6 minutes. Cleared out as far as midfield by the Hawks, but Canton there. Erin Mickelson inserting herself into the play. Then a whistle comes against Canton, and Milford will send this upfield now with about 5.5 minutes remaining in the half. And so that ball goes out of play, and Milford will get a corner kick chance here late in the first half. Sending this ball in against the breeze. The redirect with the header for Atherton. She was in the right place at the right time. But the save made by Staffier. Now Milford can't slow that ball down over the middle, and now a foot race here again involving Talia Seri, and again she has to guide the ball out of play. Wilson checking in for the Scarlet Hawks as that ball is sent out of play. Brianna Guerrero trying to get out of the way of that ball that came out towards the Milford bench with some velocity. And down the near sideline, picked up by Atherton. Some good footwork for Danny. Now loops this ball in. It gets past the keeper and deflects in off the post. And from long range, Danny Atherton scores. And Milford on the board now in the late stages of this first half. It brings the score to 3-1. Not an easy shot there. Used the post to her advantage. And so Danny Atherton with her team leading 4th goal of the season. Canton now carrying the ball deep, looking for an answer. And this ball off the hands of Chloe Murdoch, and so there it is, very quickly the answer for the Bulldogs. all the way on the near sideline. It was Kiara McKinney, number 17, who drops that one in. And so the Milford crowd that had just sprung to life off of the Atherton goal, quieted by McKinney. Now clearing this ball back to midfield as Canton puts on a late push here after the Milford goal. Atherton now guiding this ball ahead towards Kaylee Wilson. And Wilson dumping it down into the corner. Atherton will get there, sends it off a defender, and then it's poked out of play. 4-1 the score now after that quick exchange of goals. This ball coming in towards the Canton keeper, but Staffier able to make the save. We're under 2 minutes to go. A lot of action here in the closing minutes of the half. Wilson stepping in. That ball going out of play right at midfield. And Canton will have a chance to toss it in. This ball knocked free. Milford sends it spinning back towards the middle of the field. Aaron Mickelson trying to settle it down. Brooke Ferreira in there as well. The far sideline here, and a diving stop for Murdoch that goes off of her hands and then slides around behind. Or did that go in? No, it did go in. Looked at first like that ball ricocheted around behind the net, but that's going to go in for the 5th Bulldogs goal. So it was number 13, Gisela Berardi. And so that whistle will bring us into halftime. So a flurry of goals late in the half. Milford able to get on the board, but then Canton able to strike for 2 late goals, and that'll send us into halftime with the score 5-1, Canton on top of Milford. So a big mountain to climb for the Scarlet Hawks. We'll pause here for the halftime break. And so if you're joining us on our live streaming coverage, we'll be back in just a few minutes to resume with second half action in this girls varsity soccer matchup between Milford and Canton. Stay with us here on Milford TV.
Give it to them, because I didn't know. Yeah, I'm with you. If I want it like this, all right, everybody. You'll say
We welcome you back in as we begin second half coverage in this varsity girls soccer matchup this afternoon. The Milford Scarlet Hawks taking on the Davenport Division leading Canton Bulldogs. Canton coming in as one of the top teams in the Hockomock League through the first couple of weeks of the season, and they have been as advertised, scoring 3 early goals in the first half. And then after Milford finally got on the board, closed the first half with 2 late goals. And an early chance rolling into the direction of the Milford keeper, Chloe Murdoch. She's able to make the stop. The lone Milford goal scored by Danny Atherton with about 3 minutes to go in the half. And for Canton, they had 5 different goal scorers over the course of the first half. Here's Atherton now with a quick centering pass as Aaron Mickelson was streaking in towards net, but the two just couldn't connect. Lauren Shatkin scoring the first goal for Canton. Then it was Emma Cahill, Emily McCabe, Kiara McKinney, and then finally it was Gisela Berardi scoring the final goal in the closing seconds of the half. Now Atherton sending this one low in towards net. Canton making a change at the keeper position for the second half. Freshman Marissa Steffier in net for the first half, allowing just that 1 goal. Knocked back in by Atherton, now pokes it back to her D. And up ahead now for Baglione. She sends it sky high. And then pushed along forward yet again by the sophomore Maya Santos. And now Atherton in from deep. A 1-hop stop by the Canton keeper. Canton with their top 2 offensive weapons back out to start the second half. McCabe and Cahill, who both scored goals in the first half, then sat for a good chunk of the first half. Down into the corner, giving chase there was Lauren Shatkin, one of the goal scorers for Canton. Now Murdoch far out from net to deflect that ball away. Now backs up, this one over her head, glances over the goal and spins off and out of play. We're wrapping up 3 games in 3 days here on Milford TV. Boys soccer on Monday, girls volleyball yesterday, and girls soccer here this afternoon. Going back to the end of last week, we had football for you last Friday, another boys soccer matchup on Thursday, so we have been chock full of Scarlet Hawks athletics coverage here on Milford TV over the last week. We'll have all of those games available for playback locally on our educational channel and on Verizon HD 2140, and also available for streaming anytime over on our video on demand platform at vod.milfordtv.net. Atherton looking to make a quick toss in. The ball quickly stolen. And then blocked away by Milford. Trying to stay with the play here is Evelise Pierce. Carrying that ball towards the near sideline and pushing it out of play. Canton toss in coming up. Again in the direction of Atherton, a little touch pass along the near sideline for Baglione. And Baglione right back to Atherton. Catches up with this ball in the corner. Canton player going tumbling out of play, and everyone looks to be okay. Gisela Berardi staying step for step with Atherton down into the corner. So that ball going out of play off of Milford. Some hard physicality along the near sidelines there as the whistle goes against the Scarlet Hawks. Ball takes a roll out of play, allowing for Milford to make a substitution. This ball stays up for grabs, now pushed forward by Emily McCabe. Milford can't get the full clear, and this ball sent back in from deep by Canton, but well wide to the near side of the Milford net. Score remaining 5-1. That was where we were when the second half began. Now about 8 minutes into the second half action. Atherton lofting a pass forward, hoping that Baglione can use her speed to catch up. Instead, Canton sending that ball out of play. Ball stays in bounds, allows Atherton to center up again, trying to connect with Emily. I beg your pardon, Erin Mickelson, number 23. Erin's older sister and Milford High School alum Jill Mickelson in attendance at the game today. Always good to see alumni from the program coming back to watch the team in action. Jill, a great contributor to this varsity squad during her tenure here at Milford High School. Another foot race up the field, and stop made by Murdoch. It's felt like the confidence for Murdoch has continued to rise as this game has gone along. Faced a lot of difficult chances early on in the first half. Those first 3 goals in particular for Canton, really breakaway chances where there was not much that Murdoch could do. She's made some good quality saves in this match as well. Back and forth over the middle. Ava Gilmore on the move for the Bulldogs. Now intercepted by the Milford defense, booting it back as far as midfield and then sent right back in by Canton. 29-24 on the second half clock as Canton takes it in with speed. Now leaves it behind and sends the shot in towards the corner of the net. And good positioning there for Murdoch to make the stop. Oh, no, that does sneak inside the post. Another close one. The naked eye looked like it stayed on the outside. But in for the score, so there is our first goal of the second half. Off the hands of Murdoch and in. So Milford now staring up at a 6-1 deficit with 27-57 to go in this match. We mentioned it off the top, a lot of youth on this roster for Milford. 14 underclassmen in total on the varsity roster for this girls soccer team, and a lot of their more experienced players have been missing due to a range of injuries, some of which Coach Colabello hoping to have those players back in action as the season goes on, others lost for the season. Brianna Guerrero having ACL surgery. Paige Calden, a sophomore with a lot of promise in this program right now, out due to a concussion. Olivia Baglione out with a knee injury. Coach Colabello hopeful to have her back in action soon. So a lot of key contributors on this roster right now missing due to injury. So a lot of young players having to step up into big roles. Off a corner kick here, Canton pushing this one in, and it will go out of play wide to the far side of the Milford net. Keeps us at a 6-1 margin. This is the second game on the season that Milford has allowed 5 goals. They lost to Attleboro back on September 13th by a final score of 5-1. They allowed 4 goals in a shutout defeat at the hands of the Sharon Eagles on the 15th. But again, battled back for a 3-2 victory against North Attleboro earlier this week, winning that game 3-2. Murdoch stepping far outside of the net to try to clear that ball back upfield. Canton, meanwhile, this is the second time on the season that they've tallied 5 goals. They did it in a victory against Sharon back on the 13th. So tying their single game high in terms of goals scored with still or surpassing it now, I should say, with their 6th goal being scored earlier in this half. This ball spinning across the goal mouth, out of the reach of the Canton keeper, but no one there to knock it home. Toss in here for Canton as we tick down to 24 minutes to play. Serena Borges battling along the far sideline. The ball goes out of play yet again. In our 3rd week of this high school fall sports season, looking at the standings. First in the Kelly Rex division, it is Franklin right now in sole possession of first place in the Kelly Rex. They are 3-1-0 overall on the year. 1 point behind are the King Philip Warriors at 2-1-1. And then Attleboro and Milford right now in a tie for the 3rd place position. Tied in league points with 2. Attleboro with a 2-2-0 record overall. Milford at 1-3-1, but tied in league points. And it is North Attleboro and Taunton both winless so far on the year. North at 0-2-3 after suffering a loss to Milford earlier this week, and Taunton is at 0-3-1. And then, as we mentioned, the Canton Bulldogs leading the way in the Davenport division, undefeated at 4-0-1. Oliver Ames 2 points behind at 3-1-0. Sharon also 2 points off of the division lead at 4-1-0. Foxborough at 500 at 2-2-0. Mansfield in 5th place in the Davenport standings at 1-3-1, and Stoughton in 6th place in the Davenport. They are 2-3-0. So that's a look at the updated Hockomock League standings. A couple of players ahead deep for Canton, and this time Murdoch able to make the save. Emily McCabe again creating the opportunity. Atherton now trying to create one of her own. Dumps the pass deep, then a tough angle shot towards the net. That one blocked away. Will result in a corner kick on the near side here from Milford. Less than 22 minutes remain in the 2nd half. Ferreira to take the corner kick. Now the ball down, it comes in towards the post, and it is smothered by the Bulldogs keeper. Borges taking over. Now pushed along the far sideline. Carried down towards the corner by Kaylee Wilson. Wilson gets bumped off the ball. Gets sent out of play. And I'll say off of Milford. Borges carrying it in deep, gets it knocked away. The ball will go out of play. After this game wraps up this afternoon, Milford will play their next 4 straight games away from their home field. A lengthy stretch of road games coming up. That will take the Scarlet Hawks to King Philip, to Hopedale, to Mansfield, and then to Taunton before They finally return home to Milford on October 3rd for a matchup against the Stoughton Black Knights. That'll be our next coverage of this girls' soccer team on Milford TV on October 3rd. So that is their next home game, but a couple of weeks away before we get there. Eva Baglione chasing that ball down towards the near corner, but out of play, and a toss in here for the Bulldogs as we have less than 20 minutes to go now in the second half. A 5-goal lead for the Bulldogs. And what's been a tough afternoon for Milford, dealing with this potent Canton offensive attack. Here's McCabe from deep. That ball twisting away from Murdoch. She tracks it down along the far side and then delivers it out of play. Atherton getting some separation over the middle. Two players back deep for Canton. Atherton gets around one, sends the shot in, but over the net. And meanwhile, some substitutions here for Milford, including at the keeper position. So a lot of personnel getting used for both of these teams throughout this game. We're able to talk briefly with Coach Colavello prior to the game today. I believe Coach mentioned that it was freshman Kaylee Turtolo that is the backup keeper for the Scarlet Hawks. Keep that ball away from Danny Atherton, but now Baglione providing support in the corner. The ball goes out of play. It will be Canton ball. Winding our way down to 16 minutes to play. One goal in the half so far belonging to the Bulldogs. Keeper able to keep that ball out of harm's way for the Scarlet Hawks, and now Milford looking for a quick strike. One bounce stop made by the Canton keeper. gathered in by the Canton defense. Low to the ground, Atherton over in the vicinity. She can't make the steal. And right now Canton with 4 players perched on the sideline, so ready to make some heavy changes to their personnel out on the field. Again with a 5-goal lead. Only about 14 minutes to go in the game. This ball stolen, fed ahead onside to Atherton, gets a step ahead, and a good close there by Ava Gilmore on defense for the Bulldogs. And this ball centered up and very close to being an own goal there. Sarah Dempster on the doorstep, the senior for Canton, trying to knock that ball down, almost delivered it into her own net. End result here, a corner kick opportunity for the Scarlet Hawks with just over 13 minutes to go. This ball deflected all the way back out towards midfield. Turtleau all the way out to get the clear. Absorbing contact from Gisela Berardi. And the substitutions come streaming in now for both sides. A lot of personnel changes here, particularly on the Canton side. Including Captain Emily McCabe, who comes out after making a big impact. One of the goal scorers on this day. That ball up ahead. And again, Brianna Guerrero narrowly avoiding that ball on the sidelines. They've just found her today. Ahead for Mickelson. Able to keep it in play along the near sideline, leaves it behind. Little self pass now, and it's taken over. Ava Gilmore's done some terrific work defensively today for the Bulldogs. Trying to get to that one, but it's cleared back out as far as center. Pushed onto the attacking side for Canton by junior Paige Sullivan. So we've had back-to-back days of Milford versus Canton girls sports here on Milford TV. Last night in the gym for girls volleyball. Milford was able to win the first set against the Bulldogs, and then the subsequent sets all very close, all finished at the identical margin of 25-22, but it was Canton finding themselves on the winning side of each of those sets to claim the victory 3-1. And Canton girls soccer team on the verge of victory here as that ball leaps over the reach of the keeper. It spins across the goal, not in, and Milford able to clear it out. Good support there defensively. And now again cleared out. Mickelson trying to catch up to that one and drifts away. Now she pokes it back onto the attacking side. We're inside the final 10 minutes of this varsity girls soccer game. Ball just out of the reach of Gabby Paniche. Turtleau out from goal to send that ball back towards midfield. And then kept on the attack by the Bulldogs. And a race here. Georgia Campbell trying to get loose for a shot for Canton. Milford just cannot get this ball out of the Canton attacking side. Milford right now playing with a lot of their bench out on the field as well. Danny Atherton now on the sideline. Ava Baglione on the sideline as well, so a lot of personnel with the opportunity to see the field here today for both of these teams. Unfortunately, this game got out of hand early. 3 early goals for Canton, and they just did not look back from there. Milford able to steal momentum ever so briefly with a Danny Atherton goal with about 3 minutes to go in the first half, but Canton quickly extinguishing that momentum with 2 goals of their own to make it a 5-1 score, and tacking on one more so far here in the second half. Good stop there by Turtleau. Ticking down to the final 7 minutes. Deflected by Gabby Paniche down into the corner. She gets tripped up and the whistle comes in. Erin Mickelson ranges over for the free kick. Just under 6 minutes to go. She keeps it low. Canton cuts down the angle. Mickelson gets it back and then deflects it off of Canton and out of play. Got a Milford corner kick. Kaylee Whitney setting up on the near corner for this kick. Right down at the feet of Mickelson. Trying to turn around for a shot, but that ball deflected away. And pushed out this time off of Milford. So a couple of chances materializing there for Milford, but nothing on the scoreboard. Now inside the final 5 minutes. shot from long range by Chloe Pierce is knocked away by the defense, not getting all the way toward goal. Canton keeping this ball deep. Now Turtleau losing her feet as she came out to the edge of the box. Now scrambles to get back. Milford collapses in defensively. And this ball eventually knocked out of play by Evelise Pierce. Deflection. Now Milford trying to break it out, trying to feed Mickelson along the far sideline. This one is going to roll its way all the way in towards the keeper, who scoops it. And we will now dip under 3 minutes to play in the second half. So again, the Scarlet Hawks will look to reset after this game today and prepare for 4 straight games on the road against some tough competition. Next game for the Scarlet Hawks will be on Friday on the road against King Philip, and then a game on Saturday afternoon against Hopedale. So busy end to the week for Milford, playing a non-conference game against neighboring non-conference rival Hopedale over the weekend. And then 2 more road games next week against Mansfield and Taunton. Keeper again getting to this one for the Hawks. That kick curving over towards the Canton sideline and out of play. Tossed back in by the Bulldogs. Less than 2 minutes to go in this one, so we wait for the final whistle down below. Back in here, a dangerous ricochet there towards the feet of Paige Sullivan for Canton, but Milford eventually gets it out. Towards the near sideline, picked up by Caitlin Bolger for the Bulldogs. Now down into the corner, racing over is Georgia Campbell. Able to keep it from going out of play. And now centers up a pass, one defender there, and it's knocked down. Canton screaming, wanting a handball called there. More of a defensive posture than anything for, I believe that was Evelise Pierce. No intent there of catching that ball for Pierce, just taking defensive measures, bringing those arms up high. But regardless, the final whistle sounds, and that brings an end to this one here this afternoon. So a tough one for the Scarlet Hawks as they fall to the Canton Bulldogs by a final score of 6-1. So with the loss, Milford will fall to 1-4-1 overall on the season. Canton with another victory. They are still unbeaten on the year. They are now 5-0-1. So a 4-game road swing coming up for the Scarlet Hawks girls soccer team. We'll connect once again with the girls coming up in October. And that will wrap up our coverage for this week for Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV, but much more to come as the season goes along. Our next coverage will come your way 1 week from today, as we'll be back out here on the soccer field for boys soccer action against Mansfield. That game coming up on Wednesday, September 28th, a 3:45 start. And then we'll be back with Week 4 football action next week as well, as the football team returns home to host their first Kelly Rex Division matchup of the season, taking on Attleboro. We hope you'll join us for those games next week, but that's going to wrap things up here for this one tonight. A big thank you once again to Patrick Garapi helping me out with the coverage today, and I am Tim Coet. The final score one final time. Canton defeats Milford by a final score of 6-1. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.